Kaled Waypoint Ruins. Let's go ahead and summon Ingvol. Alright, that wasn't bad. I'm looking for the stairs. Should be in one of these earlier buildings, I think. It looks good on my end, but I don't control when it runs ad breaks. Oh, interesting. There we go. Found it. Guess we'll deal with those guys since Ingvol aggroed them. Looks like I did have a hiccup where I actually disconnected for a minute in there too. I always get a fresh stream report and a Twitch notification that I've started every time there's a crash. Alright. Down the stairs. that everything? I think so. Well, thank you. It's good to be back. And in the chest is the Meteoric Ore Blade. Katana forged from meteoric ore to dispatch life forms born of falling stars. Deals magic damage. The blade is weighty, known to deliver slashes of such ferocity that the impact is said to resemble the crash of a falling meteor. Skill, Gravitas. Skill originating from the Alabaster Lords who had skin of stone. Thrust the armament into the ground to create a gravity well. In addition to dealing damage, this attack pulls enemies in. Three rot grease, that's new. Solidified grease made from a mixture of rotten materials, craftable item. Coats armament, inflicting scarlet rot. The effect lasts only for a short time. Five great dragonfly heads. Alright, back on the road. And we're about to actually losing roll. We're headed over to that sundial for the Starlight Shard we usually find at those. Starlight Shards. Someone ban that bot, please. Thank you, DLF. And just out of sight there, you can see there's a new Grace. This is Kaled Highway South. Alright. Got a hotkey preserving boluses. We're about to fight a dragon that inflicts scarlet rot. So. And we're going to equip our Lance Talisman in place of Erdtree's favor, as we will do the fight on horseback. And we want to swap our summon as well. We want to use Latenna the Albinoric for this fight. Okay, here we go. Mount up. There's the dragon right there. So here comes Latenna. Decaying at sights. Shit, Scarlet Rot! One more hit, come on, there we go, got him. Very good. Great enemy felled. Dragonheart. A new draconic power is available at the Cathedral of Dragon Communion. I would like to level up now. I have enough runes, very good. Intelligence to 50. I want to wait until nightfall. I want to re-equip Erdtree's Favor now. Now I want to run along the road to the map Stella, and there will be a Knight's Cavalry there to defeat. So no more distractions, let's go straight there. There's the Knight's Cavalry. Wrecked him, but good. Ash of War, Poison Moth Flight. This Ash of War grants an armament the Poison affinity in the following skill. Poison Moth Flight. Slash with a poison-infused blade. If the follow-up strike lands on a poisoned foe, it will deal significant damage. Usable on small and medium swords, twin blades accepted. And then, of course, we actually want to grab the map. Map, Caelid. A new map has been found, Caelid. So this is Redmane Castle, where the Radahn Festival is held. Map of Caelid and environs. Caelid, known as the locale of the last battle between General Radahn and Melania, Blade of Mikola, is a vast land consummately marred by scarlet rot. And here's a merchant. And I want his cracked pot. I want his stone sword key. And I want the Nomadic Warriors Cookbook 15. A record of crafting techniques left by roaming nomad warriors. Contains knowledge for surviving in the face of utter scarcity. Acquire the knowledge to craft the following: Rot Bone Arrow Fletched, Rot Bone Bolt. And then, as we do, Nomadic Merchant's Bell Bearing 10. A nomadic merchant's bell bearing found upon his perished flesh. Offer to the twin maiden husks at the Round Table Hold to gain access to new items. So you can see an Erd Tree sapling down there. Go there, but I am going to fight the monsters along the way. Don't need those anymore. Golden Seed. Windy Crystal Tear. A crystal tear formed slowly over the ages where the Erd Tree's bounty falls to the ground. Can be mixed in the Flask of Wondrous Physic. The resulting concoction increases the effectiveness of dodge rolls for a certain duration. However, damage taken is also increased during the concoction's effect. Well, I'm sorry it's slow. This should be a new grace. Southern Aeonia Swamp Bank. Alright. Rune Arc, 2 Sacramental Buds, 3 Smithing Stone 4s. Oh, I see. It's a giant Scarlet Rotland squirt. There we go. Four crab eggs. Oh man. Shit. Whew. Okay, that was a lot. I gotta let that build up deplete. Golden Rune 3. Alright, gotta let it deplete again. Good news is I think that's the last one. Okay. So up top you can see a bunch of mushroom mages. Be ready to be hit with poison spells. Alright. Let's head back up to the top and get a Golden Rune 4. I see you over there. Very good. Flask refill and all. I don't think I'm in quite the right spot. Here's what I'm looking for, this graveyard. Oh shit, it's a troll. Larval tier. Alright, now let's loot the coffins. Golden Rune 1. Golden Rune 1. Golden Rune 5. Golden Rune 2. Alright. We're going to warp back to the Southern Aeonia Swamp Bank. And I need to pause for a minute here. It's time to close the chicken coops and let River out for her bedtime potty. I will be right back. Come on, River. Let's go potty. Alright, thank you for indulging me. From here, that's the Celia Gateway. We've got a rock-throwing troll to deal with up here. Maybe there isn't a way to get to him. Kinda seems like there isn't. Golden Rune 2. Golden Rune 5. Five glass shards. Alright, Celia Gateway. That was a pain, make no mistake. Stop by the shack. Gowrie Shack. Hear the request. Okay. Celia, Town of Sorcery. This place is a pain. It's loaded with invisible mages. Arteria Leaf. I wanted to use Ingwell to start with, because Lieutenant can't move. Two poison grease. Five toxic mushroom. to get back up there. Make the jump this time. There we go. Stone sword key. Not what I meant to do, but a seal was broken in town somewhere. Light flame. A seal was broken in town somewhere. Cerulean Tear Scarab. Blue scarab worn directly on the head. These scarabs roll clumps of cerulean tears during their labors. Slightly increases the recovery effects of the flask of cerulean tears, but increases damage taken. Golden seed at the Erd Tree sapling. Light the flame. A seal was broken in town somewhere. Staff of Loss. Staff missing its glintstone, wielded by sorcerers who believe that discovery comes through acts of asceticism. This staff only distinguishes itself when casting invisibility sorceries, but that is reason enough for some to wield it. No skill. This armament has no skill. If the armament, on the other hand, has a skill, that skill will be used instead. I'm gonna snipe this scarab from here. Ash of War double slash. This Ash of War grants an armament the keen affinity in the following skill. Double slash, skill of superior swordsman. Perform a crossing slash attack from a low stance. Repeated inputs allow for up to 2 follow-up attacks. Usable on swords and polearms capable of slashing, colossal weapons accepted. Okay. Night Comet. One of the night sorceries of Celia, Town of Sorcery, fires a semi-invisible magic comet. This sorcery can be cast repeatedly and while in motion. Charging enhances potency. The Celian sorcerers were assassins, and it is said that they often hunted their fellows. Spelldrake Talisman +1. Talisman depicting a duo of blue ancient dragons greatly boosts magic damage negation. The ancient dragons who ruled in the prehistoric era before the Erd Tree would protect their lord as a wall of living rock. And so it is that the shape of the dragon has become symbolic of all manner of protections. Redmayne Painting. Work of a wandering artist, reminiscence of a painting titled Redmayne. This painter is said to have captured the landscape seen during the last moments of those welcomed into death's embrace. The soul of the painter and vestiges of the dead's last moments can be discovered by visiting the location depicted even now. Five poison blooms. Alright, Incognito, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you being here. Swamp of Aeonia. I want to head over here. I want to activate but not rest. Here at Celia Understair. Alright. Now let's search this chest. Imbued sword key. Nicholas Lily. There's one up here. Trying to make my way back to the Erd Tree sapling. There we go. Up through here is a fresh sight of grace. I want to level up here. I need to use a bunch of runes to do it. That's fine. So we're about to fight a boss. 47975. Wait, what was it? 47975. That'll do it. Let's level up. Here at Celia back streets. Over here is Boss Fog. Nox Swordstress and Nox Monk. Very easy fight. Nox Flowing Sword. A grim weapon wielded by swordsmen of the Eternal City, this shotel has a blade as fine as a needle. Forged from the liquid metal of a silver tier, it is thoroughly tempered until hardened. Unique skill, Flowing Form. Temporarily transforms armament into its liquid form. Swing the armament like a whip to perform a sweeping slice over a wide area. And this is the Chair Crypt of Celia. It does look like a melting sword. Lusat's Glintstone Staff. Staff of the primeval Glintstone sorcerer Lusat. Only those who have glimpsed what lies beyond the wisdom of stone may wield it. Enhances power of all sorceries, but consumes additional FP. No skill. This armament has no skill. If the armament, in the other hand, has a skill, that skill will be used instead. Alright, now let's warp to Celia Understair. Rotten Stray Ashes. Ashen remains in which spirits yet dwell, used to summon the spirit of a rotten stray. Spirit of a stray dog corrupted by the scarlet rot. Though it is only a small creature, it is as violent as it is nimble, and its fangs fester with poisonous rot. I'm just going to grab another drink. I'll be right back. There's a rune arc. There's an invisible scarab. I think the spiked spear is new, yes. Weapon comprised of a spiked cylinder attached to a long pole, capable of dealing strike damage when swung. The spikes induce blood loss. Weapon of the marionette soldiers employed by sorcerers. Skill impaling thrust. Skill that lets piercing armaments overcome enemy shields. Build power, then lunge forward for a strong thrust that pierces an enemy's guard. Alright. Still trying to get that same invisible scarab. At least get these guys out of the way. That looked like a perfect chance. Come on! Ah, finally. Poison Armament. Incantation of the Servants of Rot. Enchants armament held in the right hand with poison. This incantation can be cast while in motion. Those who dwell within poison know rot all too well. The death that begets life, that comes to all equally. That is to say, it is the cycle of rebirth put into practice. And up here, we actually do have a side dungeon, the Celia Crystal Tunnel. Which we will go ahead and do right now. This is actually where we first warped to when we took the teleport trap back in Limgrave. Yes, you gotcha. I have an item checklist order that keeps me on track to find absolutely everything as I go. Rock grease. Now we're leveled enough to actually tackle this place. Okay. Golden Rune 5. Smithing Stone 5, Smithing Stone 5. Flintstone scraps. Rune Arc. Alright. Six Gravity Stone Fan and 3 Gravity Stone Chunks. Gravity Stone Fan. Shard of rock found in the wake of a meteorite strike. It is imbued with a particularly weighty magic. Uses FP to emit gravitational shockwave. The desperate ones who scavenge for these shards dub themselves Star Callers. Bang. Smithing Stone 5. Somber Smithing Stone 4. Very good. Smithing Stone 5, Smithing Stone 5. Rock Blaster. One of the glintstone sorceries at the Academy of Rea Lucaria. Imbues the ferrule of the caster's staff with magic, then thrusts it into the ground to create a massive magical shockwave. Hold to continue moving without striking the ground, and then push the end of the staff into enemies. An enhanced version of the Glintstone Miner's Stone Digger sorcery. Golden Rune 4. Unlock a shortcut. Here's where we can drop down and actually loot this. 5 cuckoo glintstone. Gotta make our way back up. Somber smithing stone 4. Pest's Glaive. Glaive made from a hard, sharpened shell, wielded by the pests who emerged from the swamp of Aeonia, slightly increases non-physical damage negation. Though men might recognize the keen intellect of the pests evidenced by this spear's uncanny design, it will never be understood by them. Skill, Spinning Slash. Skill favored by dexterous warriors. Slash foes as your body spins. Additional input allows for a follow-up attack. Somber smithing stone 4. Dragon wound grease. And here's the Faithful's Canvas Talisman. A talisman bearing an icon that depicts a group of masked figures, raises potency of incantations. The figures represent the flock at prayer, their firm belief in the intangible, inspiring even the solitary founder of their religion. What is faith if not an affirmation? Smithing stone 5. And here's the boss double door. Falling Star Beast. Got him. Enemy felled. Somber smithing stone 6. Smithing Stone 7, which is new, Gravity Stone Chunk, and Somber Stone Miner's Bell Bearing 1. So, 5 Smithing Stone 7s. Stone used to smith a variety of armaments. Found in a polar region, it is semi-vitrified. Strengthens armaments up to plus 21. Thought to have been used to hone the weapons of the champions of the war against the giants at the birth of the Erd Tree. And the Somber Stone Miner's Bell Bearing 1. The bell bearing of a miner who once dug for somber smithing stone. Offer to the Twin Maiden husks at the Round Table Hold to gain access to the following items. Somber Smithing Stone 1, Somber Smithing Stone 2, Glintstone Scrap. It gradually gets more difficult the further you get into the game. Like, I'm pretty ahead of the leveling curve still, but that levels out around during or after the visit to Lanedell is kind of where the ability to out-level the content sort of disappears. But it gets harder as you go, no question. Alright. So let's exit the cave now. We're going to warp back to Celia Understair. Alright, from here, let me make sure I actually rest, because I want this to be my spawn point. Alright, next, we're going to head due southwest, just out into the middle of the swamp, looking for the Inner Aeonia Site of Grace. There it is. Inner Aeonia. Go ahead and summon Ingval, because we've got a boss fight, believe it or not. Commander O'Neill. Fuck. Alright. We got the Commander's Standard and the Unalloyed Gold Needle. Let's look at both of those. A beaten red battle standard is furled around this time-worn halberd. Even after his lord was fled, Commander O'Neill continued to brandish this flag in the devastation of the rot-eaten field of battle, the sole veteran who remembers this battle with pride. Unique skill, rallying standard. Hoist the war banner aloft and give a rallying command. Raises attack power and defense for self and nearby allies. Unalloyed gold needle. An intricately crafted needle of unalloyed gold snapped in half. A ritual implement crafted to ward away the meddling of outer gods. It is thought capable of forestalling the incurable rotting sickness. Sage Gowry has designs for this needle. Already? You mean the boss being down? And we get another new grace. The Heart of Aeonia. We want to use some runes and level up here because we are close. $49, $125. Oh, yeah. That'll do it. Ash of War, Sacred Ring of Light. Okay. This Ash of War grants an armament the Sacred affinity and the following skill: Sacred Ring of Light. Skill used by the commanders of the Cleanrot Knights. Gather a Sacred Ring of Light in the armament, then fire it forwards. Can be fired in rapid succession. Usable on pole arms, great spears accepted. Somber Smithing Stone 4, Aeonian Butterfly, Cleanrot Gauntlets. Look at those in a minute. And Cleanrot Armor. Okay. Cleanrot Gauntlets. Gauntlets of the Cleanrot Knights, celebrated for their undefeated campaign in the Shattering. The Cleanrot Knights vowed to fight alongside Melania, despite the inevitable, if gradual, putrefaction of their flesh. Their acceptance of their fate made these battles the fiercest of all. Cleanrot Armor. Armor of the Cleanrot Knights, celebrated for their undefeated campaign in the Shattering. The Cleanrot Knights vowed to fight alongside Melania, despite the inevitable, if gradual, putrefaction of their flesh. Their acceptance of their fate made these battles the fiercest of all. That's a teleporter scarab, so we'll snipe it with Loretta's great bow from here. Ash of War, Poisonous Mist. This Ash of War grants an armament the poison affinity and the following skill. Poisonous Mist. Bathe armament in poison and then slash, spreading toxic mist forwards. The armament retains its poison for a while. Usable on melee armaments, whips, fists, and claws accepted. Very uplifting. The story of the Cleanrot Knights. Totally. Okay. Now we're going to warp to the Southern Aeonia Swamp Bank from here. And we gotta get back to Gowrie, because we found the unalloyed gold needle. We fought these guys once, so we'll just sprint through here now. Alright, here we go. Celia's Secret. Celia's Secret. Note given by Sage Gowrie detailing the secret he promised. The town of Celia hides the source. Light 3 flames atop the candle towers to break the seal. Alright. So in order to give him some time, we just have to warp away and ride back. Now we can talk to him again. Unalloyed gold needle. Unalloyed gold needle. An intricately crafted needle of unalloyed gold. Once snapped in half, it has been repaired by Sage Gowrie. A ritual implement crafted to ward away the meddling of outer gods, it is thought capable of forestalling the incurable rotting sickness. Now all you need do is deliver the needle to Millicent, convalescing in the church atop the cliff just beyond Celia. Okay. Now we want to walk to Celia back streets. We want to take this path all the way up. Keep going up the path. It's a long way up. Okay. Quite a lot of that happening, as you can see. Right, we want to collect all the sacramental buds in and around the church. Expects it to backstab him. Alright. Church of the Plague. And there's a sacred tear, as always. Let's talk to Millicent.
Who's there? Well, it matters not. If you are wise, you will leave immediately. My flesh writhes with scarlet rot. It is a curse, not to be meddled with by man.
Given unalloyed gold needle. That done, there's a new grace. Church of Plague. Use our sacred tear to increase our flask to +10. Now let's talk to her again. Prosthesis wearer heirloom. A talisman engraved with a scene from a heroic tale raises dexterity. Though born into the accursed rot, when the young girl encountered her mentor and his flowing blade, she gained wings of unparalleled strength. Alright. From here, we are gonna take a quick trip to the Round Table Hold. I'm gonna go visit Rodrika. We can upgrade Banish Knighting Vol to +4. Talk. And we get the gesture curtsy from her. There's something you should know.
And he told me about something. A little while ago, someone started lurking in the wing on the opposite side of the round table. And I can hear, from all the way over there, the howling and wailing of spirits in fear of a curse. I can even hear the repulsive twisted malice in itself. A plethora of spirits in an unceasing cacophony. Can't even imagine how much suffering inflicted to who knows how many souls. Not even the crafting caused anything like this to happen. You should keep your distance. I know you're strong, but please.
Talk to Hugh.
Well, where have you been hiding? I took you for dead. No matter, it's all the same. Lay out your arms then.
Should be able to get my brass shield to +16 now. Very good. About Rodrika.
The girl has come a long way. As ever, time and technique have made her stronger. It is good to see. An imprisoned monster does not deserve an apprentice. Or a daughter. At times, that's precisely what she feels like to me. I've got soft. And it isn't easy.
Alright, let's go visit the Twin Maiden Husks next. Yes, it is the Dung Eater. Offer a bell bearing. Let's offer him all the bell bearings we're carrying. Okay. The one thing I want to buy from them right now is the Memory Stone. Alright. Rodrika's warning is accurate. This character is insanely evil, like the most purely evil character FromSoft has ever written somehow. And yet we're just gonna voluntarily engage with him. Sewer jail key. Alright, sewer jail key. Filthy key received from the Dung Eater. Unlocks sewer jail door said to lie beneath Lane Dell, the royal capital. Alright. Let's warp back to the Church of the Plague. Let's keep going up from here. Starlight Shard. Okay, all's well that ends well. Alright. 2 Beast Blood. That wizard for such a lame reward is kind of your clue. There's more here than meets the eye. It's a whole secret dungeon called the Celia Hideaway. Here, I think, is where I am going to leave you for the evening. I am grown sleepy. It is time for bed. So, thank you for joining me. Those of you who have been here a while, I appreciate it, as always. I think I'm going to be back tomorrow night, as soon as I finish working. So, watch this space. We should be continuing where we left off tomorrow. Till then, thanks for being here. Enjoy the last night of your weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.